What if an object could hold something unnatural? A force that whispers in the dark, a presence that refuses to be contained. This is the story of the Dybbuk Box, an antique wine cabinet that carries more than just history. Those who possessed it spoke of nightmares, shadowy figures, and a curse that followed them long after they gave it away. A cursed relic, or just an elaborate hoax. You decide. To understand the Dybbuk Box, we must first understand the Dybbuk itself. In Jewish folklore, a Dybbuk is a restless spirit, one that clings to the living, seeking a body to possess. Some believe these entities are souls trapped between worlds, tormented and unable to move on. And if a Dybbuk cannot find a host, it may be imprisoned inside an object, sealed away forever, or at least, that's the hope. The story begins in 2001 when an antique collector named Kevin Mannis stumbled upon a peculiar item at an estate sale in Oregon. It was a small, unassuming wooden wine cabinet, but the seller warned him this was no ordinary box. It once belonged to a Holocaust survivor who believed it contained a Dybbuk. She had sealed it away and swore it should never be opened. Mannis ignored the warning. He took it home and opened it. Inside were strange objects. 2 locks of hair tied with string, a golden goblet, a dried rosebud, a candle holder, a mysterious Hebrew inscription. Nothing seemed unusual. That is, until the nightmares began. At first, it was just dreams. Mannis and those around him all reported the same vision. An old woman with sunken eyes, watching them as they slept. Then, the shadow figures came. Unseen hands pulling at clothes, doors slamming shut on their own. Electronics failing without reason. A constant, overwhelming smell of ammonia. Then came the stroke. Mannis gifted the box to his mother for her birthday. Moments after she opened it, she collapsed, paralyzed, unable to speak. The curse had begun. Terrified, Mannis sold the box. Its next owners fared no better. One buyer woke up to find their house infested with insects. Another claimed their health began to deteriorate. Migraines, hair falling out, sudden violent illnesses. And every night, the same nightmare. The box was sold and resold, each owner trying to rid themselves of it. But the curse never left. It simply passed along. Is the Dybbuk Box truly cursed, or is it the power of suggestion at play? Skeptics argue that the box is nothing more than an urban legend, a case of mass hysteria, where fear itself is the real curse. But paranormal investigators disagree. They claim the box carries a dark energy, one that manipulates its victims. Some even believe that the box should never have been opened at all. Because once a Dybbuk is freed, it does not go back willingly. In 2016, paranormal investigator Zach Bagans, host of Ghost Adventures, purchased the Dybbuk Box and placed it inside his haunted museum in Las Vegas. Visitors report feeling sudden nausea, hearing whispers, and experiencing an overwhelming sense of dread near the exhibit. Some claim to have seen dark figures lurking just out of sight. And then, there was Post Malone. During a visit, Bagans removed the protective case. Post Malone, a skeptic at the time, touched Bagans' shoulder. What followed was a series of bizarre and tragic events. His private jet nearly crashed, his house was broken into, and his car was involved in a near-fatal accident. Coincidence? Or something more sinister? The Dybbuk Box remains sealed, but for how long? A cursed artifact, or just an elaborate myth? Some say the Dybbuk Box is nothing more than a modern legend, a trick of the mind. Others aren't so sure. So tell me, if you came across this box, would you open it? You already did.